Well, I like to do a pledge with a full room. All right, we'll open at 5:02. It'll be a long. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yep. Well, I don't think there's any adjustments to the agenda, unless anyone else has anything. We can review the minutes, I guess, while we're waiting for him. We said the pledge already. We figured you probably said it on your own
Absolutely.
a couple times or during the day.
I live it. So Peter Perry comes up these two. Oh, sorry.
Do that after. Minutes look all right to everybody?
I'll make a motion that we accept the November 28th minutes as written.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? All right. Public to speak on a non-agenda item. Seeing none. The commitment is not ready yet, right? Are we even doing the commitment anymore? Have we?
No, sword building was started today.
No, but
No, I think
we're gonna continue with the commitment for the time being?
yeah, so we get that written.
Okay. All right. Give Keith a minute. Tracy, we don't have any abatements. I don't have anything in this
No,
packet.
none of that.
I guess we can look this over. Wait for Keith to jump in.
Oh, we forgot one whole property. That one has still the Peter Perry.
Thanks.
Okay,
That's actually where we're at, once you get settled, Keith.
I'm ready.
All right, Peter Perry.
All right, so the last document I just handed you is a letter from Mr. Perry himself, agreeing.
Can I interrupt you just for a second?
Yes.
Does everybody here know what this is about? This
Vaguely.
Peter Perry thing? I know Al and I know what it has to do with.
I'll back up a little bit actually. So what it does, through my records, Peter came in front of us back in November of 2015. Some of the first records that I can find in regards to the map I'm not indicated on the speed map 47 lot 54D, he actually owns lots E, D and E, and I think there's one more next to it anyway. So what brought that to us initially was that lot across from Moose Alley was being developed, and there was a pad poured without any kind of pre-approval checklist with the sewer commission sign off on it. So there was a pad in place and a building on the lot, I believe, before the sewer commission even saw that lot. So in that conversation we had with Mr. Perry was that you could not operate or continue with construction or operate at a facility until you connected. He was, I can't find that written anywhere necessarily, but he did agree that he knew of that. So this brings it back to light now is that there is now Rangeley Rental and Recovery, I believe is what it's called. Dave O'Brien, who was operating off of South Shore Drive, but his house burnt down. So he, through Peter Perry, decided that he was going to operate a business out of that building. Brought in a Blue Lagoon, and through Facebook we happened to catch it first that he was starting to operate a advertise for a rental business out of there prior to anybody talking to the planning board, talking to anybody. So it's kind of where we're at now, is trying to go back and
Gentlemen.
thank you very much.
See you there.
So now we're going to go back through the process and kind of reverse it through first conversations with Peter Perry and with Tom Lillis, talking with Dave O'Brien, more than myself. The original idea was to allow him to operate, given the rather large investment that he has in place with 6 or 7 new snowmobiles. However, I will say that I think, I'm sure the planning board is, but speaking for myself, I'm starting to have less sympathy in regards to the situation that he was put in, given conversation that I have with him in regards to the portable toilet that needed to be removed off the lot because it wasn't allowed to be on there if he's going to operate the business. It had to be given past practice, given the language in the ordinance, given his disregard for process.
And we're talking about the business owner or Mr. Perry?
I would say both, a little bit of both. Now, whether or not it was an honest mistake that they wanted to operate by, it went really fast, and I think it needed to be slowed down. And that's right. I still agree with that now. I can't speak for the planning board. I don't know. They have a meeting tomorrow night.
We had scheduled a rush public hearing to get him in here and get him, a continuation of use before he even filled out a continuing or a CUP permit. So we tabled that until tomorrow night when we're going to have the public hearing. And I think they're kind of looking to see where you folks are all sitting with it also.
So he's been operating without any document saying that he can't operate?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it probably would be beneficial if you or we could
I'd like-
the
yeah.
planning board tomorrow evening to have the other side of that story.
What time is that meeting tomorrow?
It's at 6.
Okay.
So fast forward to today, through a meeting with Peter Perry, he had generated this document saying that come spring that he agrees to connect to the sewer in a simple way.
How binding is that piece of paper? Is it at all? I'm just wondering, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, to my understanding, that signature,
It looks like a good faith letter to me. That's how
Essentially what it
and I'm not a lawyer,
Okay,
but that's
fair
what I
enough.
would call it.
I think it would carry a little bit of weight if it ever got to push come to shove and we had to put our documents in order and take it to a lawyer
Okay,
to, we've got a written,
okay.
so I think, it's not certainly not going to,
and it's not by any means.
It's a piece of paper.
but it's
It has
definitely,
something.
it's good
Okay,
stuff.
so through this, so he signed here. What I supplied you with is what I bought for some preliminary conditions for the planning board, what I saw this process how it needed to take place, or what was gonna happen. I don't have a copy of what Tom generated in regards to, he has conditions set forth, and one of those, I'm gonna butcher it, was language that I had stated that,
Can we get it? I have it, I
Yeah.
have it back this morning.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, no.
Since this all plays with this property. So I have the letter that I wrote in regards to, for the planning board, you see that this is what I kind of wanted. There's some other language in Tom's letter that he quoted me on. Also, there is a letter from Maine DOT in regards to, I wanted them to state for Peter that this is how this process worked. Obviously, I know how that I have to apply for the permit.
Right.
But I wanted them to set that he couldn't open the road up until May.
Right.
And then, there's conditions in regards to if he's in a bore versus, excavate a trench.
I mean, and in my mind, I understand if someone wanted to open a business suddenly and there was a building in place that didn't have the facilities, and knowing that we're in this, the far northeast and you can't open a road until then yeah, we can work with them. But no one, it just bothers me that nobody asked the questions prior.
That might be right there. All right, so what I did, Tom put a condition in here, in regards to, Mr. Perry will need to submit a new sewer permit application to the sewer superintendent no later than the first week of March 2019. This will allow for processing of the permit by the sewer commission in time to approve a hookup to the sewer line by cutting or boring under Route 4 in early May. So I wanted to make sure that we had a sewer permit, because he never paid for the original one. It was approved but never paid for it, I believe. Or maybe it was never truly approved, honestly. But this one anyway, is 2015 was the original date on it. So it's expired anyway. So I want to see plans. I want to have everything in front of us in March.
What do you think about, is March an arbitrary month? Where did Tom come up with March?
Well, if you go off the ordinance, it's those plans 45 days prior.
Right.
So that allows us ample time to review any kind of situation that we need to put in place. He may not connect in May, but
Right.
I want, knowing that he's had 3 years already,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we have ample time to go over any plans that he generates.
Oh, no, and I agree. I guess I was thinking that you may want it sooner. If it does,
Yeah,
I guess things just went out of order so much with him that I don't know. I guess in my mind, what I was thinking, and maybe it doesn't matter, is that if there was something in place that if he got the permit as quick as if he got his stuff in line as quick as he could, then it would really show that they're going to do what they're supposed to. And then if questions were asked, we'd have paperwork sooner rather than in March. But if you disagree with that, or if anybody else disagrees with that, that's just how I thought about it. But
I mean, at the end of the day, I do agree with you, given the timeline on this and how things have been expedited so quickly anyway on their part.
if you think it's unreasonable, or it's,
The other side of that, I think ultimately we hold the answer to the allowance of this business. So I mean, we could either say tonight or tomorrow at the planning board meeting that we don't support the operation of this based on what's happened already. At this point now, we can set these new guidelines, I guess.
sure. Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
We have the power essentially, is what I'm kind of trying
No,
to
and
say.
I don't think any of us here wants to stop a business from operating in the town of Rangeley. That's the truth. I believe that's the truth. Sure.
It's the logistics.
Let me ask you this: How difficult is it for them to come up with a sewer plan for an office building? How long would that take to?
Yes, depending on what he does, obviously, you have to review if you can maintain a gravity line where it's so shallow there. Obviously, so the gravity versus pumped, then you have to have something engineered if it's a pump line. obviously, it's, you know, the factor of opening the road up when he does, well, how much insulation, you know, just matter those factors of insulation needed, trenching versus horizontal boring, just what the plan is, or give us multiple plans, they have to be engineered drawings.
So,
There'd be some
excuse
time.
me, Beth Flynn wouldn't be somebody that would do that?
She could, if she's willing.
She's the one, she's the original person that started getting all the information, doing this. She came up and got a capacity letter from me at the water
That's right.
district. So I'm wondering if they already have something in place of some sort. And Tom was saying that he couldn't find that file or something from 2015, but I have our original capacity letter from them that I handed to him, that Bernie Bean signed. I didn't have the signature though.
I don't feel for it to be unreasonable to ask to have this drawing and permit together and payment ready by February meeting. I don't see why that would, I don't see why you couldn't have that put together in 30 days for us to look at.
That's 2,000 with the original letter from Vernon. Here is
It's what?
2,000?
No. Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's come to our attention that you may be changing the area where our water pipeline runs through.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
just
was-
that idea of,
that was-
he knows what's there, so he's known for the time. of
Yeah, that
what-
was not handled correctly.
No,
Anyways.
so you're correct. Here is,
He's known for 18 years,
he's known for a long time.
He's been filling that lot in. Our
filling the
water-
wetland in.
Our water line is probably 20 feet under the ground there, at least.
That
Right, so
goes
he
to
signed-
Russell Manor.
His original permit that we have, he signed it October 9th, 2015. Beth Flynn is listed as the agent.
So we must have found it, yeah.
There's a subsurface wastewater disposal system application with a pump plan, if that's what they wanted, if that's what you want to do still.
So I just thought there was something already in at one point.
There
This
is.
goes against
Okay.
everything we've been working for.
Well, that's the issue, man.
Everything.
Well, the thing of it is, if he's already had this done, there's no reason why February is unreasonable.
I didn't know if anybody agreed with me on that part. I mean, or unless you folks, unless you feel really strongly about this and you want to discuss it in a different direction.
Right?
It was not gone about in the correct manner, and we've been working towards making this not happen, and for a new property for this to happen to. I have to voice this. I was really disappointed in how things fell. However they fell and whoever let them fall, I as chairman of this board and as a citizen was disappointed with that.
Yeah,
I agree.
learned about it on Facebook, and then you start seeing.
What's
exactly
happening in
going
other
on.
businesses start, we've been.
And
enforcing them.
that's just the thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It
unfortunately,
makes us look like, well,
Yeah.
anyways.
right.
You
Anyhow,
guys can read this too, this is the meeting with
But
Peter Perry.
And you, as you said, on the other hand, I don't want to make a business go away, but
now
on the other hand,
They gotta do it right.
well, let's say that they hadn't moved in yet and hadn't advertised this business. Let's say that this meeting, that they want to have this place open in January so they could start, but they know they can't put sewer in because the state of Maine's not going to let them do it until spring. How would we have gone about this?
I think we definitely have the power to, put a timeline in place.
Right.
And let them start their business.
Yeah,
Like they're doing right now.
yeah, exactly. I would have been inclined to say, okay, fair enough, you can't dig your hole. You can't put your line in because of the weather. You want to open your business, fine. And then we'd have taken steps through us, the planning board, and everybody else to get this in line, I think. Because I don't see any reason to say somebody you can't open your business because it's winter. But what bothers me is they did it first. And then,
Beg forgiveness.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, I know.
This is a classic case of it.
That's the kind of Tom's review of original meeting with Peter Perry and kind of the
thank you.
So bottom line for me, at the end of the day, is I don't want to set special circumstances for anybody based on where we're at with this connection analysis and trying to
No.
rectify past.
Well, and for your information, part of the planning board's, in my notes from their minutes from their meeting is, part of the problem was, number one, we had no application, but number two, we had no letters from the Rangeley Water District or the Sewer Commission with any kind of stamp of approval. So the planning board's looking to hear what you guys, and sort of, with all of it.
I mean, originally there was something from the water district, and I gave him a copy of that, the original, and I also wrote one up for the president.
It just wasn't presented to the planning board
Right.
at our last meeting.
That things were not,
Yeah, it's all been very haphazard.
without realizing there's a burning.
I assume we'll have more
What's the,
discussion, but I don't
What's
know.
the initial question here to this board?
That's, if you're gonna say something profound, I prefer Tracy came back before
Okay.
you did, just because she's keeping track of this stuff.
Profound.
I can feel that it's gonna be important.
Strong use of the word.
Did she go to get some documents or
Just
something?
get a drink, I don't know,
Oh.
I say, hey, drink, but also you have one right there, I'm not sure.
How deep's the snow from the hill?
I didn't mean to interrupt you, John. Just
No,
one way.
No, that I.
Man-made snow we just started, last week,
Oh, yeah.
and, I don't get a million gallons, get a million gallons out of that, but we have a sump pump problem with the drain on the snow dump. Started smoking, so we, still functional, but I don't wanna trust it. So when we bring back the 2,000 gallons that comes back from the spray lines, when you drain it off, not 100% behind the fact that it's, and I'll be able to prove that.
You were saying, John?
Stephen was supposed to come today, but didn't.
We've been a fair amount of discussion here. I wonder what is the initial question to this board? Whether we allow continuing business without a sewer connection and sewer plan?
That was the question to the planning board. Your recommendation to the planning board probably may sway that one way or another tomorrow's public hearing.
Yeah, so plain and simple, that is question number one, is do we allow the continuation of this in a temporary manner with any kind of set conditions that we want to put in place, obviously, for what that piece of paper is worth that Mr. Perry signed and said that he would connect. Do those hold enough weight? And I guess is ultimately will we move this forward? If, in the temporary operation the way it's set forward. I believe the porta potty was removed. It was supposed to be. It was communicated multiple times through Tom Willis that it had to be removed. There was conversation with brackets. I will be honest with you, once the town got involved in the communications with the brackets, they shut right down. They didn't want to get in the middle of a paying customer versus the town. But my conversation with Mr. O'Brien was that he played naive to that he was told that he wasn't, that he was told that he had to remove it. So when I told him that he had to, it was like he never was told before, that he denied kind of. So, I mean, my dealings with so far,
So,
but very brief. It wasn't rude to me on the phone or anything, but knowing conversations that took place prior, and the conversation I had with him, they didn't jive. And I tend to trust my fellow coworkers than I do people I don't know.
He was a little bit hostile in the planning board meeting. So
The applicant
he
was?
angry about the process, yeah.
in this day and age, if you're going to set up a business in town, then I don't even know the process, but I would come to this office here and I would start asking. This lot's been contentious in town before, the used car lot, et cetera, like that. It's been owned for numerous years. We have a letter from the water department from 18 years ago about what was going on the property. Yes, maybe there's a big hustle if you're renting snowmobiles, right? We have January 1 to March 31st to rent them. It still does not, we should not disregard the protocol of opening a business and the proper chain of command on all of this. Do I want to shut someone's business down, possibly their livelihood, that looks like there's substantial investment or potential for investment? No, but they didn't come here hat in hand in November to open this up. And we've been working with the town, other paying customers in town, holding them to the standard of connecting to the sewer. A few people have spent quite a bit of money coming to connection analysis here. If this lot was intended to be opened as a business, whether it be rented out as a business space or operated by the landowner itself, I think they would all know that they had to connect, have water in and water out.
At the very least, they would know they need proper permitting to start a business in any organized area.
Get the permitting before you open the business.
And this is true.
Anything.
Now, there isn't anything John said that I disagree with. How to go
Where do I
forward.
go from here?
How to go forward is I want to say this, because this is what stuck in my mind along with other things, but if we stuck hard to our guns and said, no, we don't recommend this was going about the wrong way, I don't think that's correct either in this instance, because the town of Rangeley has allowed this business to open and do business and expand its business over the past 3 weeks or whatever it was.
Who allowed it?
We haven't disallowed it. No one's quite given them the green light, but nobody's stopped them either, so,
Well, this
So
process
they-
is stopping too, so it takes time.
yeah.
So they've been taking people's money for deposits and gearing up. How do we say, well, sorry, that's your problem? Do we say that?
So that was part of the original conversation we had with Peter that day, given that,
Mhm.
that synopsis of what happened, was, for whatever, if it was, for weight of it or not, truth or not, was that prior to any rental went out, he already had reservations in place. So at that point,
Wait,
Tom had felt that until we hold a meeting, that, you know, officially or unofficially run, you allow operation to take place. Long as certain criteria was made with which the removal of that porta potty, which never happened until very recently, if it's gone, I believe it is, but I haven't been by the last couple of days to verify, so.
They need to find another place to operate, and that's all. We need rentals, but they need to find another place to operate out of.
Now, other side of this is I don't know how the complete process works, but if we don't recommend it, does the planning board have the authority to still allow an operation to take place?
With conditions, it's a conditional use permit. So they can authorize it with said conditions and timelines. And then at that point, I think Tom has the authority to shut them down if that isn't followed through.
So the conditions, would some of those conditions be our conditions?
Absolutely.
Which I feel are essentially put in place. I mean, just a matter of if you want to change wording or, add anything for tomorrow's meeting, we can write something up. Draft something tonight, put something up tomorrow, that sets a little bit more weight on what you want to see done, obviously.
I do recommend, are any of you planning on attending the meeting?
I could probably be there, yeah. I'll,
Six?
It's at 6.
here.
Yeah.
Where did they move from?
Sandy River.
He had the house on South Shore Drive that burnt down.
Oh. The one right after the bridge.
Right,
Yep.
yeah. That's where his business was originally supposed to be operated out of.
Did he have all the paperwork for that, do you know? Does anybody know? Was he all set up, ready to go there?
No, I didn't contact.
Just a question.
Yeah, I didn't contact
A good question.
either, I didn't contact Liz, anybody from that.
So what do we motion here?
I guess you need to figure out one is if you are for or against, and I say not necessarily the business, but if you're in regard to policy, if you recommend the continue operation, give them what you have in front of you, and with conditions that you set or feel that have been set already.
And contingent upon planning board outcome after discussions with them tomorrow. I mean, the motion can be pretty open-ended that way.
Tom, do you have anything to add? This is something that I think we all should speak on, so we know where everybody lies.
I'm in favor of the business. Don't like the way things have fallen into place.
I think we all can agree on that.
I'm actually kind of irritated that it's down to us to say yay or nay.
Yeah,
Not that we have the final say, but, it's
I think we
putting us in a spot right now where we tried to do the right thing and get this sewer commission and getting people in compliance and doing it the right way. And we've been pretty lenient, but this is gonna make us look bad. I mean, it's already, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, the town looks pretty bad right now,
Yeah.
what's happened so far. I'll say that right out loud.
Um,
I don't know where we go from here, and I don't know, I don't wanna shut him down, but I hate to send the message that hey, do what you want. We'll
Right.
figure it out after.
Right.
I
I mean, because it was said several times in this meeting, once we're through these properties in our compliance project, then it'll be smooth sailing because no one's going to allow anything to happen without proper permits in place. Because we know we have a checklist with the sewer district, the water district, even, which isn't even part of the town. And I think the fact of the matter is, guys, we meet once a month and we're not town employees. So while this was going on, we had no power to do anything about it, and half you guys didn't even know about it.
We found out on Facebook.
So,
Yeah, no,
I
that's-
drove by, opened up, I was like,
so this is,
I don't know, maybe we'll see some permits.
I mean,
Yeah, that is the sad part, is
But-
the town itself didn't even
how do you know?
know it was operating. You have just a businessman that wanted to start a business and started to operate or advertise prior to any conversation with the town. So I mean, we haven't done anything yet to address, I mean, we're obviously working in a manner of trying to correct this. But from these meetings prior, you know, like you said, we've allowed, this has been operating, and we know it now, but initially we didn't know about it, so. Even with that scheduled application sheet that says you have to get approval from X, Y, and Z, I mean, this doesn't even fit that bill in regards to it operating without even knowledge of that. So
Yeah, they didn't even
didn't even make an effort.
come for a business, nothing. No, and that bothers me.
And I think at the end of the day, what bothers me more is you have a man that has known this property has been in contention, knows how businesses need to operate,
Mhm.
and decided to have a lease agreement which hasn't been proven yet.
Is it possible to put a stipulation for the planning board to put a stipulation, or someone, to allow this to happen with our conditions and their conditions and whoever else has conditions? And say, if you don't meet these conditions by when we say you're gonna meet these conditions, then a business will not open on this property for 10 years. This is an arbitrary number I'm throwing out.
Right.
But do you know what I'm saying? Is there a way to put some good teeth on this and say, listen, you guys did this backwards? This is how it's gonna be.
I do know some of the teeth that I've heard voiced already were a substantial financial penalty, or financial agreement or penalty that's gonna be assessed in regards to how the process is gonna work. So your permits are gonna be doubled essentially. And there was, one thought process was is that they put a deposit down on the sewer.
On the permit.
On the permit.
Oh, I wanna see them pay for the whole I wanna see the permit paid for.
For the whole, I mean, the permit, but down payment for the project.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
that's what I thought.
okay,
That-
yeah.
The permit's
They
nothing.
brought
Yeah,
that
that's
up
what I
at the
was-
planning board
yeah.
meeting,
I don't know if that's
and, that's where the guy got kind of contentious, because Brian Roy had mentioned, you know, I'd like to see some money put down on this, so that we have some kind of assurance. that
Where would the money be put down?
This guy,
Town.
town.
The town would hold it.
Town will put it in an account,
This
or
guy
interest-bearing
popped up
account
and
of
said,
Okay.
some
"Oh,
sort.
bonding,
Yep.
and it's illegal, I mean, I didn't check into any of it, but.
I think as long as it's in an interest-bearing account, you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, I
As
don't
long as
want-
you're paying the interest.
Escrow. It's funny you say that, because it's right in here. Language is already in our ordinance.
Seems kind
Just
of
don't
right.
have, what,
We're here to
with,
follow policy and ordinance.
financial
Yeah.
violations,
That's why we're here.
No, you're right, Matt.
authority does Tom have?
Unfortunately, I
When you
don't.
make special deals, that's where you end up
You know,
with
some
the
of
wars.
it's like $1,000
Right.
a day.
And that's,
Just saying.
what concerns me is what was allowed to transpire prior to this. That's what concerns me. Not saying that it's right or that, that's where the problem lies for me.
Yes, and no matter what we do, we're the bad guys.
The-
It does not matter what we do tonight, how we decide, we're gonna be in somebody's eyes doing the wrong thing. It's gonna. Certain few individuals. But I think, yeah, I actually, I don't know. I don't even know how I wanna proceed with this, honestly. I'm kinda stumped. Cause I, on one hand, it's like, no, you didn't follow, wait till next year. On the other hand, that's a business that's needed in this town right now, people coming in.
There's gotta be.
And he's got a lot of money in it, and he's gonna get hurt if we shut him down. Not that we can shut him down, but we can recommend.
So this is the document that I put in front of the planning board. I fill it out during the meeting tomorrow with their motions and whatnot. It becomes the final CUP with all the stuff. So what if you guys tabled it contingent on tomorrow night's meeting when you have a chance to actually discuss with them and add any of the conditions in here before they make motions and that sort of stuff?
So you-
Would that kind of alleviate, kind of spreads it out?
It'd be the
between
same
you and
decision
the
just
planning board?
tomorrow, and then there'd be more eyeballs looking at us while we're trying to
Well,
figure out
it
what
could
we
be, but at least the planning board that way would have the, because any motion you make could change depending on what, I don't want us to get in our own way.
I hear what you're saying. Yep.
Which I think would be pretty
Because
easy
we
to
don't
do
have a
with this.
conditional use permit to follow.
Right, okay.
I understand that a little bit, but like, the motion is before us right now, is whether to allow it to continue to operate
Mhm.
pending conditional use permit. But we don't even have that.
We don't have the power to shut it down anyway, so we
No.
have the power to recommend what the board says, and then they can do what they want, right? That's the way, am I understanding that right? Okay.
Yeah, I think tomorrow, if you bring all this stuff to the planning board, I don't think they have any problem at all with implementing whatever input you have. That's, I mean, they were wanting input at the last meeting we tried to have on this.
Okay.
But, so you get the gist of what that is, and
Yeah,
depending on what you guys want or decide tonight, Keith and I can get with Tom tomorrow and have him update that before the meeting even, so that the document that is put in front of the planning board already implements some of your desires for getting them.
My desire is that they started the process 3 months ago.
Absolutely, absolutely.
at the very least, I mean, they started on I wish they could have been shut down and said, we can deal with this. Maybe we can deal with this next week.
Do we have that
If you-
authority? Does the code enforcement?
I have no idea, but I wish that, I'm saying my desires, I wish we could have said, you're gonna pay for some special meetings to be done,
That's
to get this done.
what should have been done.
and that way nothing's done before
Right,
the
or not
the
put
documents are
cart-
signed.
Horse in front of the cart, or
But it just,
cart and horse.
anyways, wouldas and druthers don't matter. We gotta figure out what we want.
Well, there's some questions here, huh?
Mhm.
I didn't read all of it.
So, but
I mean, at current, if we're waiting for the planning board or conditional use permit. So,
Sorry.
Excuse me.
So they're just gonna keep going? Sorry, I thought you would.
No, I'm trying to formulate. I'm still trying to figure out what we're motioning on, because we don't have a
Right.
permit in front of us, we don't have a conditional use permit
We're
in front of us.
motioning on a recommendation to the
Recommendation.
planning board, I
We're only
think.
making a recommendation to the planning board.
I guess, that's, I mean, you would think they'd draw out a sewer permit before they go before the planning board. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, that's right,
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to find what we're motioning on. We don't have a permit, we don't have a conditional use permit, we don't have. So we're making a written recommendation to the planning board?
So why don't we make that the recommendation, that we see the plan in place before we can make any thoughts on this, because we don't know what's
We
going
need,
on.
we need a paid permit,
Okay,
a sewer plan, and at this point, there needs to be a down payment made and a contractor agreement signed for the work to be done seasonally
so a
possible.
copy of the contract, the agreement with the contractor.
when you say sewer plan, you mean engineered drawings, is that what the motion should say? I'm just
If it
trying to make some
requires that, they don't
cases
all
where it's-
require engineered drawings,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, I was just thinking, but if need be.
Right, right. Why?
This is what I was getting at.
No, well, you
No,
gotta sort through it.
absolutely.
I mean, this takes,
That's what we're-
this
what
takes
we're
this
voting on.
entire board to sort through this, because this is a mess.
This isn't.
And if Mr. Perry is the contractor, we still want a signed agreement between him and himself, whatever it is.
It has to be an approved contract.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, he can't,
that's right.
that's right, it
It has to be, at the moment, it has to be moral or
I know.
emanate.
M&H or Steve Moore, or Steve Morrow.
yep, they're the only two.
Contractor, owner, engineer, approved contractor.
And if they want to use somebody else, they'll have to wait even longer, because then they'll have to come and get us to approve that.
Approved contract with whom? For a word here.
What was it again? Sorry.
Approved contract with,
The-
DC,
the,
the property owner, the
approved-
contractors.
Yeah,
What are the approved or licensed contractors for the town of Rangeley
There you go,
for sewer connection?
Yeah.
Which would be Moral Excavation and M&H
at this point.
Yep.
at this time.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't see any reason why they don't wanna jump through, they won't wanna jump through hoops to get what.
Now, we need to, we'll see what the planning board says on that. I guess we don't need to put a date on that, but
So I've got,
by the next sewer
What's-
commission
I've
meeting?
got three requirements by you folks. It's the paid permitting fee, the sewer plan engineered if applicable, and approved contract with a licensed contractor, Moral or M&H.
Yep.
Are there
Yep.
any other requirements that I just wanna make sure I got them all before we move on.
I
Keith?
think I'm good. Keith, you want to chime in?
I was just trying to find some weight in the ordinance.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
I
It's
just,
just whatever the policy is, right?
There's plenty of meat in here to bite on, so,
So those are our recommendations to the planning board.
So you could make your motion to table pending.
yeah,
these
we're not
things.
recommending to go through this at all. We're just,
Well, you
This
can
can,
table it
we need these three
pending
things
yeah.
to be able to ponder whether we're gonna make a motion further.
I definitely like the idea
See how
in
easy this
regards
comes.
to having some conversation tomorrow with the planning board.
Yeah, I'll be at that meeting tomorrow.
Now, will
Okay, good.
this require a special meeting from the sewer commission if they want this?
And that
done?
was my next
And that
language.
could be-
Now, is that the process that we
Yeah.
can ask
We bill
them to
advertising
pay
back to
for
them,
the
so-
meeting?
Everything can be billed back to the,
Yeah.
Build back to that?
No, I mean, if they want things expedited, then they're gonna have to figure it out. That's if things, yeah, if the planning board decides to let them go through.
I agree.
so, they're gonna be operating for a while, either way, at this point.
They haven't stopped. Didn't skip.
No one's told them to
No,
stop.
I mean,
so.
even after this, they,
Well, I think after tomorrow night could be a decisive moment where,
How can they operate without?
At that point, I
Because
think if the application is denied, I think Tom has the ability to start fining them like $1,000 or $2,000 a day if they don't cease and desist. And I don't think Tom has a problem doing that with anybody.
I don't, so the issue, I don't know how they're allowed to operate currently. I don't understand that part of it.
It's an illegally operating
I don't know
business.
what-
Currently,
Mhm.
it's not being enforced at the moment.
Our lack of action has given them permission,
Correct.
basically.
So that's,
Doesn't the fire chief have to write off any business to, hey, I know the inspector side here,
nothing's been done.
Yeah,
Not
none of it's been.
you can't operate at all.
Well,
they're still waiting on, again, a lease agreement, and everything else that has yet to be, that I know of, has yet to be supplied, so.
So until we get these
Fire
documents,
department has written it off.
Oh, it is?
This letter is to serve written verification that the Rangeley Fire and Rescue Department is accessible to the above-mentioned map and lot located in Aquasic, Maine. It's not Aquasic, Maine.
is that for a different
47
property?
It's lot 47, lot 54E.
That's the right.
So that's wrong, but in case of emergency, our fire and rescue department would be able to rapidly respond. So he is supplied the letter.
Okay, so at least they got something. So we need these documents
Before we can even make
before we can
Even
vote
vote
on,
on anything.
on granting a permit and or making, or
Conditional-
not making a
conditional
recommendation
permit or
to the planning board.
Yeah, we can't do anything without information.
We're just sitting here with word of mouth and a couple
Motion to,
letters.
the above-mentioned
Rec-
documentation.
Yep.
I'll make a. Want me to go? I'll make a motion to supply the Rangeley Planning Board with our, what we have, 4 recommendations, Tracy?
Yes.
4 recommendations for
You wanna go?
the illegal business on the record that's currently operating at 2770 Main Street, map 47, lot 54E.
You want to give the date
which is January 9th, 2019.
Is that all the information?
I think so.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right.
Is the next one gonna be that hard?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Darn that, Jimmy.
Ski racks canceled tonight too.
I'm gonna
Let's
keep,
come in here for the spice.
this will be, I think, rather simple, actually. As you can see, Jimmy did give me mocked up, he just gave me the plans. My own fault, I asked him, this afternoon for them again. Plain and simple, Mr. Janassi has agreed that, through my conversation with our last meeting and then with the code enforcement officer, and the mixed review in regards to our ordinance language and a loft classification. Mr. Janassi did indicate that he planned on having a bed in that loft, a bed, and would consider it a bedroom, and would agree to pay the $90 associated fee with that, so.
Okay, so there's no further voting or motions needed from us for that, right? It was just contingent on bedrooms being clarified, as far as what John said last meeting.
So as I remember it, so now we approve, with that, we're approving a sewer hookup and fee for a 2-bedroom residence.
Correct.
Okay.
Why can't I find that? Right there. Pending.
Oh, we tabled it, so we do have to.
The drawings are here, anybody cares to see them, but
No, I'm just saying that.
the definition of a bedroom at this point, I would say is still kind of mud, but, I mean, there is a definition by all means in the state books, but,
All right, do you have a copy of the permit for us to go to make the motion to?
Just have last week's. Let me see if I can.
I don't think, I think I have it.
I know I have this to sign. Right here.
Is this, no, I don't have it.
Now, here's a copy anyway, no, it's not the original, but I have.
Just so we have the, the lot, the map of the lot and everything to make the motion.
I'll have to, is it a fee on there, but don't run off that fee, I'll have to adjust that fee.
So I was pretty explanatory, I know you weren't here last time, Al, but he had that large house, and John's like, you telling me there's only 1 bedroom in this house? That's how this was born,
Yeah, okay.
that's all.
Good. I saw something in the minutes a little bit. I can't wait to look at the plans. Okay, there.
Here, just here,
I'll look at them after. Yeah,
there you go,
I've seen it down there. It's kind of,
Yeah, it looks kinda neat.
haven't been down there at all.
there's angles and
I can tell her that we have it, I guess. You got a copy?
I think you should've just yelled like the honeymooners.
We all together. You have the original on the sign,
I don't have the one, I probably have it, I'm just gonna locate it.
they can sign it, it's not a big deal.
Gotta change the fee on it too, but it's not that he says, I know I have it.
And he paid the fee, Keith? Or we-
No, because we are still pending.
Okay. All right.
So Keith, do you want us to amend this permit to like cross out the 1 and put 2 on it?
Oh, I thought it was. I didn't look at it.
Yes.
There it is. Call him
Is
Jim.
that the one you're gonna sign, or is this the one you're gonna sign?
Whatever.
I'll make the motion, then you guys figure that part out.
second.
I make a motion that we approve the sewer permit for James Janassi at 46 Depot Street, map 38, lot 16-4, with the number of bedrooms amended pending payment, correct?
Yes, of $270, I believe,
Of $270, Keys believes.
I'll second that.
if my math works out.
Any further discussion? All in favor? I like that better than the last one.
I have it somewhere.
Go by the rules, the game rules easier.
Yeah,
Sign go into your
Yeah.
classroom. Here's your stuff for your file. Right, the scribble mark, sorry.
What the heck?
We were asking the national meeting. I had noted that.
all right, that's all set, correct?
Correct.
Chick Hill update. Oh, just before you get going, I wanted to point out, my daughter asked me what the giant white dome was on the side of the hill coming home from the IJ last night. I assume it's a bunch of lights up there by the airport for the construction project.
I thought it would be, they should be just about, well, I mean, other than normal drilling procedures, not operating at night right now. They were screening material at night to have enough material for the day moving forward. So yeah, that'd be what you would see. The rapid deterioration of that hill. So in regards to the airport project, they have moved, at this point, well over 150,000 yards. Up until this week, let's say Friday, they had 7 trucks that were in operation, moving about 10,000 yards a day in regard, like 360 to 380 trips a day. Unfortunately, they lost a truck on Friday. They're down 2 trucks right now, given tires, and had an accident, slipped around the corner, ran over a dumpster, hit one of the,
Ran
Fine.
over a dumpster.
ran over.
Over a
Yeah,
dumpster.
Things
over
are
a
not
dumpster.
small.
Yeah, flattened the dumpster.
Holy moly.
They hit the 5-yard bucket, and it ended up with the truck. It ended up causing over $50,000 in damage to the truck when they hit the bucket. So that's the second truck, unfortunately, that they've caused that much damage to. The tires alone are $5,000 a piece when they're done. So yeah, so we're about probably closer to 200,000 yards moved. Things have gone fairly well. They're great to work with in regards to requests that we have or concerns. And obviously, like you said, you can definitely see it from vantage points in town. Some of us can hear it at times when they load the trucks, but it seems to be going fairly smooth. Other than that, Chick Hill wise, we continue to, I want to say remodel, but process through our renovations at Chick Hill, trying to organize. We have started the snowmaking process this month. I don't have a number for you what we're at. We've only sprayed a couple days. As I stated earlier, we have an issue with a sump pump for the drain of the guns when we stop the process that night, or before we went home or whatever. it's the original sump pump for that, if I'm, sorry. It's the original sump pump that I'm aware of in the process, so it's served its time for sure. We had Tim Stevens scheduled to come up this morning and replace that unit. Unfortunately, the weather didn't allow that, so looking at Friday at this point. We're still running the equipment, just trying to be a little more cautious when we drain it off. Hoping that the sump pump stays online and not long enough to drain that sump out. Other than that, through this budget process, which has just started, I'll keep you updated that as much as I can, obviously. With my combined role now for the town, I'm looking at trying essentially to create a new operator position at Chick Hill to fill the vacancy that I will still operate as superintendent, but I will kind of look at and fill that vacancy with a third member.
Licensed operator?
Yes, to become licensed. Not necessarily a condition in the beginning. Will definitely help the right candidate. If the position is approved through obviously selectmen and so forth. So far, I have the support of the town manager. I know that. Obviously, we have to work through the description of the position. Let's see what else. Normal operations aside from that. This will be the time of year we start looking at pump maintenance and so forth. So that's really it. I can think of.
All right. Continuing business, the sewer connection compliance. I've read through some of the documents that are here. I don't know if everybody else has, but I gotta say, I'm pretty excited, barring the thing we talked about earlier. But as far as the project we've been working on, I think we've made some awesome headway without a ton of headaches.
Absolutely.
We got two binding letters of intent, or 2 letters of intent, and we can almost guarantee the fly shop's gonna sign it because they're the ones that asked for that extension. And then what Rudy's just left to be contacted.
I left him a voicemail. I haven't heard back. I haven't pushed him real hard through the
But
holidays. Maybe I should have.
But I think that's awesome progress. I really do. I'm happy when you set out to do something and it comes together. It doesn't have to come together overnight, but it comes together. That's cool. But now that my excitement's over, if Keith has anything to tell us besides what we're reading.
So I honestly did not read Kenny's letter. I got it this evening when I came in and printed it out. However, I'll run down through the list of how it was organized in the last, in the minutes. I'll start with Rangeley and Davenport subdivision. I actually met with Beth Flynn out front as she was here for other business. She had mentioned to me some other the Sherman property that I was still awaiting plans for. She stated that she did have those. She's working through one more part of the plan, and she would give them to me. And she asked questions in regards to Kenny's subdivision and kind of had questions in regards to the area which the subdivision covered, the slope of the hill. And there's one back lot that's going to present, I think we have to stick with the ordinance, but it's going to present some problems for them in regards to trying to get pitch, or not having to run a separate pump system into a collection system. There was a question in regards if we would allow, but if the allowance of a septic system in that lot would be approved, and obviously answer that with it wouldn't be. You'd have to continue with our direction of
Absolutely.
the ordinance. So we'll have to much as I'd like to help people, again, in business, but, again, I think we hold foot and, hold the path that we're on. And when they come with a solid plan, obviously, we'll review at that point, but as of right now. And then obviously Kenny supplied us with said letter. McMillan, moving on to that, Dennis office inquired, and obviously, I did try to contact him, unfortunately, he's been out of town. I missed him. So I don't really have an update of anything internal's been done in regards to the water meter and like that. I know he's not connected, obviously, to the sewer, but I don't know where he's at. I haven't been up there to review, I'm guilty of that too, so I will follow up with him prior to the next meeting to get everything else kind of in question answered.
Right, so connection and a meter, right?
Those are the primary and
Yeah.
the
Cool.
finalized plan. Fontaine, obviously, I spoke with Randy, you have, there was a plan to have it done already, but unfortunately, as you stated, weather and timing didn't work out, so.
But he's contracted
Yeah,
excavator
that's-
already, so.
That's awesome. We know
So
what's
that's
gonna
good.
happen.
That should, and aside from Rudy, that should cover, I believe, all of our properties in question. The fly box, obviously, we have the agreement that we.
So here, the one for Rudy here, this is drawn up like the fly shop.
Yeah.
This is because he didn't give you a letter.
This was the verbal conversation I had with Rudy at the front counter a while back.
Okay,
And he had gotten some estimates that he has every intention of starting in the spring. That's really about the only commitment I got out of him. Like I said, I haven't pushed him real hard. And my really, because I have a hard time pushing him hard. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
no, okay.
I have a hard time with that.
does anybody, I mean, the fly shop's expecting this because they're asking for this.
I don't think I think providing something in writing, I'm just trying to make it easier for him.
No, and I understand. I just want to make sure everybody doesn't think I don't know. I guess
I don't see any problem signing this for.
then, yeah, I mean, if he has a problem signing it, then he can come up and talk to us about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like anything.
Yeah,
These
okay.
can be talked about again, as
Sure.
long as we got something
Yeah.
going.
Is everybody all right with the one for the fly shop, starting at the date that they were first notified?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Is it a possibility they're gonna come back and say, well, we'd like them a year from when we started this?
I don't have an answer for that. I haven't spoken with Brent or Susan as of late. My feeling, though, with tonight's initial discussion is we've established guidelines. So I would hope moving forward, what I'd like to see is that we have the same sorry.
Attention to policy?
Attention to policy, same regard as we're gonna have this new property as we will these existing, because they've had more than, and same scenario, they've had a notice, they know what's happening, so I don't feel strong in regards to allowing
Okay.
more
No,
work.
I wasn't saying that we were
No, no.
going to, I was just wondering if you had a feeling.
I don't have to, I would
And
hope.
we can talk about that, if they don't wanna sign it, then we'll
Correct.
talk again.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so just on that a little bit, obviously went different direction down a little bit,
And
but,
I don't compare them to this new property at all.
I don't, but I want to make sure I think apples to apples at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they both now need to be held to the same plane.
Yep.
But, and I feel pretty strong with regards to that contract that this is what we signed, this is what we are allowing you.
So these will be two legally binding documents?
The binding. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have a lawyer.
So do we,
Drama.
do we need a motion to enter into these?
Approve these, yeah, and then we'll send them out, you
Okay.
guys can sign them, and then we'll get, send them out for their signatures and see what, they will return to us.
I'm okay with both of these documents.
Make a motion that we accept these the document for Rudy Davis, 2214 Main Street, and Kennebago Fly LLC, P.O. Box 654. That we, what did I say, we approve them and sign them and send them out.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Alrighty.
Does it matter how we reference these as documents or agreements?
Should it be a lot, map and lot?
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
You got the master one?
You've got the hot one.
Used to.
She's done.
Who's got the hot? I think we did good work on this project, all of us. I appreciate everybody showing up and sticking with it.
Thank you.
It's not easy doing stuff that's not popular.
Yeah, sure. Wait, that's at home. I said no.
Thank you.
Anything else on sewer compliance this evening? All right. Any new business? No?
No.
Hearing none?
Sorry.
No? All right, the next sewer commission meeting, regular meeting is gonna be the 12th February 2019, and the next board of selectmen meeting will be January 28th, 2019.
And potentially a meeting before that, right?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna announce that, but yes,
Mark,
absolutely.
yeah, those of you attending on, if you can make it, obviously I'm gonna do the same. We'll discuss the need at that point for a special meeting.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else to add?
At 6 PM, again, is planning board tomorrow.
Yeah, good. Want to make a motion to adjourn?
No.
Make a motion, we adjourn at 6:14.
Second.
All in favor? 6:14.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome,
Thank you for
thanks
all
Tracy. Yeah,
Information and help.
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Glad we have somebody so knowledgeable.